Dad cleared his throat like he was about to say grace instead. He sharpened a blade. "I'm proud of all my children," he said, eyes moving around the table, collecting smiles. Then he stopped on me, except the loser sitting here. Laughter cracked the room open. Forks paused midair. My mother didn't look at me. My siblings laughed because they always did. It was easier than remembering who paid the bills. I stood calm, quiet. I placed a folded paper in the center of the table, right next to his plate, weighted by his favorite watch. "For you, Dad, happy Father's Day." Then I walked out. Outside, the night was warm and obedient. I took back the keys to the luxury car I'd given him 6 months earlier. The engine responded to me the way it always had a minute later. I heard him scream my name from the doorway, confused first, then terrified. That scream didn't start tonight, it ended here. I learned early what love looked like in our house. It looked like performance applause, was currency, silence was punishment. I was the quiet one, the one who fixed things, the one who stayed late, paid early, and spoke last. Dad called it weakness. I called it patience. He taught me business at the dinner table, how to dominate a room, how to humiliate without raising your voice. He said respect was taken. Not earned. I believed him for a while, then I outgrew him. The betrayal wasn't loud. It never is. It arrived as pattern. First, the jokes sharpened, then the gratitude vanished. Then my name disappeared from conversations about the family company, even though my money was still keeping it alive. I noticed the paperwork changing signatures, moved accounts, shifted small things, sloppy things, arrogant things. I didn't confront him, that's what he expected. I watched instead. I found the email thread by accident. Or maybe I wanted to. Dad and my older brother lawyers CC'd phrases like restructuring, protecting assets. Excluding liability, my name appeared, once misspelled, and only as a risk. They were cutting me out slowly, cleanly, like surgeons who didn't know I'd built the hospital. I closed the laptop. My hands didn't shake, my chest didn't tighten. I felt something better than anger. Clarity. I remembered being 12, holding a flashlight while Dad fixed the car. He told me men like us didn't ask for help. We took control. I took control. I hired a forensic accountant, quiet, expensive, loyal. We traced every transfer I'd ever made to the family, loans disguised as gifts, investments written off as support. I owned more than they remembered, more than they understood. Then the lawyer, not the loud kind, the surgical kind, the kind who smiles while bleeding you dry. We found the clauses. Dad had forgotten the signatures. He'd rushed the contingency he'd laughed at when I insisted on it years ago. If anything happens, I'd said back then, I want protection. He'd patted my shoulder. From who? I didn't answer. The car was my favorite touch. He loved that car more than he loved us. He drove it like proof, like evidence he'd won. He forgot it was registered in my company's name. He forgot because he never read anything I handed him. He trusted my silence to mean surrender. The house came next, then the operating capital, then the contracts. I didn't pull the plug all at once. I tightened it. Vendors stopped answering. His calls, credit lines, paused for review meetings, were postponed, then canceled, then forgotten. Dad started calling me again, not to apologize, to demand. I answered once, just once. "You're overreacting," he said. "This is family." I smiled into the phone. Exactly. The paper I left on the table wasn't dramatic. No insults, no threats, just facts. A summary of asset ownership, a timeline, legal notice of repossession, a copy of the injunction preventing him from selling, borrowing, or moving $1 without my consent. At the bottom, one sentence: "Respect is taken. Consider this a lesson you taught me." I heard the chair scrape behind me as I drove away, heard his voice break, heard him finally understand what it feels like to be laughed at without the room turning on him. I didn't look back. He called for days, then weeks, then not at all. The company collapsed quietly. No scandal, No headlines, just absence employees found new jobs. Clients moved on my brother, blamed Dad, Dad blamed everyone else. Mom called once, she said I'd gone too far. I asked her how far humiliation travels before it becomes tradition. She didn't answer. Now, when I sit alone, I replay that dinner, not the insult, the moment after. The silence when I stood, the confusion, the fear, the way power shifted without a sound. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't throw a punch, I didn't beg for love that only existed when I was useful. I gave him a gift he'd earned. The truth. And I took back everything else. I sleep well now, not because I won. Because I finally stopped losing.